Now, another offering from the Stand Up Talk Radio Network.
Crime is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
And I, John Shefsky, poke fun at Rich Slaton, who gives me many opportunities.
That's not the only thing you do here. I mean, it feels like it a lot of the time. And it hurts, really.
If I hurt just one of your feelings, then I feel like I've done my job.
You know, you succeed. then you are an expert and deserve a promotion, sir, because at least one, sometimes two or three, every single... Why does every episode open with me
Fuck
starting
off.
to cry?
You're not actually hurt about it. You love it. It makes you feel good to be teased so hard.
Play the music.
Crime is the show that starts now.
Oh, like right now?
Oh, yeah, do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything
them
to me.
him.
Don't you dare.
Crimepodcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send
Label
anything.
it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good.
Guys, and girls, to be fair.
Yeah.
Whichever one you are, and everything in between, from 100% guy to 100% girl, whatever's part of the spectrum you're on. Welcome back. It's good to see you.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, seriously, you're fantastic. Keep on supporting this show. We love you. We love it. Hit us up on the socials, email us the things, tell your friends about it.
Thanks for listening to that part of the show where Rich sucks all of our audience's dicks.
That's what I do.
Through the
That's
airwaves.
I have spent 9 years in this business learning to suck dicks, and now that I finally have a platform on which I can do it, you just keep trying to stop me.
Yeah. I'm not trying to stop you. I was just narrating it in a fun way so people could enjoy it.
Oh, you're helping them because they can't see.
No, they were already thinking that. I just gave it a
fair.
voice.
That's fair. Today,
like-
guys. Did I cut you off from more?
Yeah,
of
you did.
The dick suck riff.
I was gonna say they're sitting there going like, "Here's Rich sucking our dicks right now." Yes, you're welcome. We're listening. Get on with the show. Most people are probably thinking right now, "Get on with your fucking story."
Let's not even get on with the story yet. Let's get on with introducing our guest.
Let's do it.
Very funny comedian. You might have seen him on, I think, Adam Devine's house party.
Yeah, that's all I got, man.
That's what's
That's
up.
all you got.
Welcome
This
to the
guy's hilarious.
show.
Please give our Billy Bonnell.
crime. Did it?
Dude, you nailed it.
You did it right.
Also, you guys failed to suck the dick of first-time listeners.
Oh yeah. Hey,
You said
first-time
thanks for
listeners.
returning, but let's see a little cocksucking on.
If this is your first time listening,
Yeah, actually, the first time listening, it's for free. You don't even have to you can skip whatever ads we drop in. It's totally fine. So first time listeners, free dick suck. Congratulations, guys.
allow Rich to just gently suck your dick through the microphone.
You know,
right now.
my
or if you're
mom's
a
been
woman, suck your metaphorical.
Well, I
dick.
wouldn't say criticize. My mom's been commenting on how juvenile this show is, but she listens because she thinks that I have a great voice.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm her baby boy.
Yeah.
And I try to fight back on it, and then we just opened up with a minute and a half of pure dicks and mouths.
Your mom loves your comedy and your voice?
I know, it's weird, right?
That's
man.
that's why he's not a criminal. His
Yeah, the
mom
rest of my
supports
family,
him.
very ambivalent. Mom, though, all about it.
You know you're doing something right if people are like, this shows that you joke around too much about jizz and you're too immature. You're like, okay, we're doing something right, you pretentious assholes. Don't we?
Charley Becker was born on July 26th, 1870 in Sullivan County, upstate New York. He was the youngest of 10 children in the family. The Becker family, like most people in the area, struggled with poverty. Bad weather and wild animals ruined their crops for years. Several times the family nearly starved to death.
I'm waiting for something funny.
The death
The
thing
way
to
you
make
say
you...
it, yeah, that makes me laugh.
When they did bring in a harvest, his father had to carry it on foot for 3 days just to sell it at market.
Uphill.
I mean, I don't know what hill situation was going
Trying
on.
to help you embellish.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
could
think
you please talk about the topographic nature of the
3
county
days,
they're from?
3
Did he
days of
break his ankle
carrying...
ever? Did he twist it in little
You've
holes
never
in the
carried
ground?
anything for 3 days.
No, just the burden of your friendship.
Ooh.
Ouch.
No, I meant
Listen,
like
I don't want to come be a guest on a podcast where you guys have unspoken problems with each
hatred to
other.
each other.
New listeners, thanks for coming to the final episode of Crime.
It's me getting mad at Rich. That's what this
Things
episode
got
is.
worse in
letting it out.
1877 when Dad passed away.
Jeez.
What year?
1877.
I don't give a shit about it.
How come no one cares when fucking people died in the old days? They still were people just like us.
Doesn't matter really. I mean, their death didn't even really happen. You know what I'm
Dude.
saying?
You guys are assholes.
I mean,
Or
all they did was make
I'm
room.
a total sensitive wuss.
Look, if they didn't die, where would you park? You know what I'm saying? Like, people have to die to make room
That's
for
true.
cars.
I'm just looking at the
buildings.
phenomenon of you guys being like, it was in the 1800s. Oh, I don't feel bad for these people at all. It's like they still lived and then died. It might have sucked.
Allegedly.
Billy doesn't give a fuck either way.
Charlie's 5 older brothers left home. None of them wanted to take over the failing farm. The 3 oldest went to California, while the 4th became a rambler, working as a broker, a searcher for gold, an osteopath, or probably a chiropractor and con man.
What's the osteopath? What
Working
is
as is Rambler what encompasses all of those things you mentioned?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
he was unemployed.
Yeah, he basically was like, well, also this is a time period that we've
Could you
learned on
tell
the
people
show.
that? Like, I'm a rambler. Like, oh, okay, cool.
I think so.
He's following his dreams.
He also can tell people that you're an osteopath, a chiropractor.
What's an osteopath?
I don't know.
That has something to do with like fucking bones.
Doctory.
Osteo,
That
right?
has something to do
bones.
with chiropractic.
But a path makes you feel like he's crazy, like he's got a bone. He's weird about bones.
I don't think he was
That
any
guy's
of
an
those.
osteopath, man. Don't go in his basement.
He was
Got
also a
bunch of
con man,
skeletons.
so I don't think he was any of those things, really.
Oh, well, thanks for
that's
getting
his
that part of the
list.
sentence.
No, I got to that part of the sentence. You
Oh.
just ignored it entirely.
That's, well, the osteopath thing, which you didn't answer yet.
I don't know what it is. I never will.
You
No,
said you did a research
I refuse
paper?
to learn.
Oh, Billy's unimpressed. I take Billy's side on this one. I'm just joking. Sorry.
The 5th brother, John, only a year older than Charlie, headed to the bright lights of New York City in 1888. When he wrote back that he planned to join the NYPD, Charlie packed a bag, hitched a ride to town, and boarded a train for the Big Apple. By Charlie's arrival in 1890, the population had swelled from 75,000 to over 1.5 million
Where is this?
in Manhattan, in New
The
York.
Big Apple.
Yeah.
You big dipshit.
NYPD, New York City. All of
I
it was
like that
said
nickname.
multiple
Thank you.
times. The big or you big?
The big
big
dipshit.
The big dipshit?
The big dipshit, yeah.
I like it.
I'll take it. Like the HNIC or whatever, you know, people have that on their desk or whatever, you know, you'd have
Is it the
big,
or
the big
the?
dipshit.
The big dipshit, like you're a football player saying which community college you went to before making
Yeah,
the NFL.
sure.
The big dipshit.
That's right. I like
like
the big dipshit. It's like the Big Dipper too.
Charlie bounced from job to job, but when his brother John received an appointment as a New York policeman, Charlie switched to a new gig to better prepare him to become a cop, a bouncer at a German beer garden.
I thought that's what you do after you're a cop, right? You do bouncing.
Not in this era.
In the old days, you worked your way up to cop. Those were the open mics.
Yeah.
You start off bouncing, finally get to cop.
He got his guard card, dude.
Then
And he
the
was ready
guard
to go.
card
That's a thing.
You're into rhymes. That's a good.
No, that's an
rhyme.
That's
actual
actually a
thing.
thing,
No, he's
dude.
saying true things.
Oh, they really do it.
Yeah.
You have to get a card.
A guard card.
That's
for
what it's
guards.
called.
It's just funny to be like, "Hi, I'm here to get my guard card."
Yeah, it's like your haircutting license. It's the same thing. You're like, why were you...
Rhymes are so cool, dude.
What would be your haircut license? Your cut?
Rhymes are pretty cool.
Fuck, dude. It's cut card.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, cut guard. That's annoying.
Aardvark guard card.
Aardvark.
Aardvark. Oh, dude, the Aardvark card? Yeah, that one.
While tossing drunks might not seem like the path to the badge, in 1890s New York, getting the job was all about connections, and there was no better place to network with the political elite. Even then, the vast majority of officers still had to bribe one of the 4 commissioners of the police board just to receive a commission. At around $300 a pop, the board members were bringing in an average of $22,000 a year in untaxed bribes, about $570,000 today. Charlie spent a year saving up, and by February of 1894, he was a uniformed officer.
So, like, the bribing is so normalized there that it's like it's kind of it's got a system, and it's just an unknown, like spoken like system.
There's gonna be a lot of bribing in this story.
Okay.
This is a big bribe story.
It's a bribe story.
It's basically all bribes.
Okay.
Pretty much for the next.
Father of the bribes, baby.
Yeah.
Oh shit! We got some rhymes. We got some puns. We're having funs. We got some buns.
But this was the
I
time-
got a son.
Being a police officer was kind of was
trying to rip.
an in-demand job.
Oh, yeah,
and so
yeah.
to get it, like there was a normal way to apply for it.
Yeah.
But like only 10% of the officers hired at the time got it through the normal means. Everyone else bribed a commissioner to get appointed to get a job as a cop.
That's like trying to get a writing job for SNL, man.
Yeah, you got to bribe somebody.
You can't submit a packet unsolicited, man. You
But
got to
it's-
know somebody.
Yeah, suck them
Those are
dicks,
cops, though.
which
Like-
is what I've been training for.
Charlie
Does anyone
Becker,
else
baby.
find is that like a red flag? Like, so the cops, the way that you became a cop was the way you got to be a cop in that city in that era was by doing something that was one of the big things that you always say you're not supposed to do when you have power, like bribing and like.
Yeah, you know what?
this was the
You
18
commit a crime to be a cop.
After so many episodes
What
of the
the
show,
fuck?
I must say that I am shocked and appalled that
off.
the police of 1890 were corrupt in some way. That is
Just seeing it be the
It's
norm.
it's weird that the corruption still exists today, really.
no.
Man, how could they have not weeded it out by now?
I'm convinced that they have.
Now it's 95% you apply, and then that's when you get the bribes, man.
Are you guys making fun of me and saying I'm naive and that it's still the same way right now?
Dude, you're a father. Concentrate on fathering.
Good.
And then
Good
What
point.
if my kid wants to be a cop? I need to be
Well,
able to tell
we're-
him like you need
Start
to bribe,
saving
or
up
you need
right
to save
now.
up for
Yeah,
For
I mean,
bribes?
$300 back then. I mean, you have to save up for whatever the equivalent is now, which I don't know the math off the top
well,
of my
if
head.
$22,000 was $570,000, then $300 is like $6 million, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
You are okay. Listen, I'll
that
stick
the-
to fathering, and you stay away.
Billy's
from
all about
math.
numbers.
Get
Is
your
that
hands
math
off
right?
that math.
Billy
dude.
Numbers
Get your
Bonnell.
fucking dirty-
That's his mob name.
All right, go on with your
He's
story.
all mobbed up. Life was harsh for most rookie officers. New recruits
They were
received
fucking
only.
broke after bribe. Okay, sorry, go on.
I mean, that's actually a
It's
big
like you
part
spend
of
all
it.
your money on college. You spend all your money. The commissioner took all my savings.
Yeah, I mean, $300 was like about what a lot of people made in a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that it was. New recruits received only about a month of training, mostly a memorization of rules and the sanitation code. The system had them on patrol or on call for 17 hours a day. While the $800 salary was higher than most working class jobs of the era, officers were required to pay for their own uniform and guns, as well as rent at the station house. With all that in mind, it's unsurprising that the main source of income for most officers was
more bribes and criminal shit.
Yep, bribery.
Like they're almost like forced into the position of like that's how you survive. It's the norm.
Well, that's kind of why it was such a job you wanted to get into in the first place. You were like, dude, all I have to do is get into being a cop and I can start getting bribes.
Can you fucking get this fired up about a cause that's happening today?
Me?
I want to
Yeah,
see you
I can.
I want to see you retroactively fight bribery and corruption from the 1800s. I gotta fix this shit.
It's too yeah.
He's at the city hall.
Kids
checking
aren't
the-
moving around enough today. They're too sedentary.
We need a
Watch-
time machine if we want to make this shit work.
We gotta go back and fix this. You spend the rest of your forget comedy, forget fathering. Now it's time to build a time machine to stop corruption in the 1880s.
That's when you realize I've lost my mind. The first step is building a time machine. You see, like, okay,
That seems like the
So
simplest
you're-
step.
you guys are pussy ass activists doing things now. What needs to be done is in the past.
So, Mr. Shefsky, I'm
Yes.
looking at your loan application, and I see that you're looking to build a time machine.
So
You know, first question is this: I'm going to guess you're just trying to kill Hitler. That seems like the most likely scenario.
I actually got to go back farther than Hitler.
Really?
Yeah, I have a
You're
feeling.
gonna kill Hitler's grandparents.
No, there was a cop accepting bribes in Boston, and I got a whole plan on how to make him stop.
I was all.
Weirdly enough, it was New York City.
I was
New
ready
York
to
City,
approve
too.
this loan, and now I have to reconsider it because that's the worst use of a time machine of all time.
Oh, fucking, I'll go to another bank.
Next bank.
I'll go to B of A. That was,
So-
that was a plug for B of A. In case
So
you get
you're
them.
using this to stop the spread of AIDS?
I told you I got a lot of shit I got to do. One of the things I want to do is I want to go back. I want to make an investment.
57 banks later. So you're going to stop tuberculosis from even existing in the first place. You're going to save all of humanity in Europe in the 1800s.
I think I would just say, can you just give me the loan, please? Like, I'm gonna fix some shit.
I'm just trying to go back to get Eve from eating that apple. It really fucked
Yeah, you
stuff
got.
up for
See,
everyone.
you're smart, Billy. You go back to the source, right? Go back to the ribs scene, right? Weren't there some ribs in the Bible? there?
Dude, take the rib out and make a lady.
That's
then
right.
Fuck her.
Or
And then fuck her,
baste
dude.
those ribs.
I always want to know, dog. Where was all the barbecue sauce, right?
What's up, bro?
Is that what she was covered in?
Dude.
That's racist, and I do not support it.
How's that racist? I didn't do it like a crazy
Nods
Southerner voice.
approvingly.
All the barbecue sauce.
Charlie quickly
fucking
rose up
dick.
the ranks, earning choice
Oh, yeah.
commissions along the way. His
Choice
assignment,
commissions.
Bribes.
Does that mean bribes?
Oh no, earning like some of the best places to get bribed.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Choice commissions.
Choice, like he earned positions in the police. Like he
He had powers that people would bribe specifically
place
for.
where-
There's like an order
eventually-
menu of like, I want to bribe someone for this thing.
he just got sent to areas where business was good. At first, I mean, he was a young cop, but he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we're sending you down to the docks where there's a good graft you can run over there, and then you're sending you to this place for another good graft."
Was he
That-
tall, dark, and handsome?
He was very big.
He
He
had
was
strong
a little
calves.
over 6 feet tall, about 200 pounds, and his hands were described as two sledgehammers.
Okay, so he was getting laid too.
He fucked.
Yeah. it said specifically in
Did
the
it
books.
say anything specifically about his cock?
That's what Billy wants to know. What kind of cock did he have?
Yeah, oddly enough, it also looked like a sledgehammer. So
Wow, it's a really big
He pulled his
head.
pants down. His dick would always go, "Hey, how you doing?"
yeah, they called him Old Three Hammers Charlie. You know.
Thud.
His assignments were not only easier, but also more lucrative. He eventually made his way to the Tenderloin, an area where over half the buildings were connected to some sort of vice. Dubbed Satan's Circus,
Oh, cool. Let's go
the
there.
neighborhood was described as a modern-day Gomorrah.
Which Gomorrah is in the Bible as one of those dirty places.
It's the other half, like Sodom,
Yeah.
and then Gomorrah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't-
Gomorrah? Yeah, I don't know.
How come
Sodom-
sodomy got the famous word sodomy? Like Gomorrah didn't really get a
Nah,
word.
I can do a Gomorrah on you right now if you want.
What is that?
You know what it is.
The way you're looking at me.
You'll want Galessa after he's done with you.
We fuck each other in the butt at the same time.
Who's got the long enough dick to do that?
Listen, that's not my fault if you can't pull it off.
To stretch my dick around to fuck you as you're fucking me?
Oh, what do you mean?
Hey,
It's called a pretzel where I come from. And
Rich's
no,
mom.
I can't do it.
Rich's mom, you listening to this
Oh, yeah.
part?
Sorry, Rich's mom. And my mom doesn't listen, so whatever.
My mom doesn't know what a podcast is, and I'm not even saying that to be
You don't need to
facetious.
empower her with podcasts. Let her be where she's at. Keep her in the virtual reality chamber you have her at. Don't let her touch podcasts.
There are many ways to get paid off as a New York cop in 1895.
Oh, yeah? Maybe I should go back.
Saloons were a common source of cash in many forms, from simple bribes to paying officers for courtroom testimony. Charlie's first mention in the press comes from his testimony in favor of a saloon keeper accused of selling libations on a Sunday. That was a big crime, by the way.
You were excited the way you said that. Accused of selling libations on a Sunday.
That's a good line. It's a good line.
No, it is. And I was complimenting you.
But
Trying to win you back here, baby.
But Charlie's favorite move was shaking down prostitutes. It was a common move for cops to stop girls in the street and arrest them for solicitation. The girl's pimp or madam would pay bail. Then the charges would be mysteriously dropped while the officer, his captain, and the bail bondsman
Would fuck the shit out of all the hoes and hang out all night. Simping martinis.
divided
fur
up
coats.
the missing bail.
Oh, I was close.
The missing bail.
Yeah, they kept it.
Yeah.
That's how they made. You almost can't get mad at them because they're like that's how they make their cash in those days.
And it was interesting. A big part of this was that in the sex trade at the time, or in all the trades like sex, gambling, booze, whatever.
Yeah.
This was just part of doing business.
Yeah.
And so this particular thing where it's like, oh, Cindy got arrested again. Let's go pay her.
It's part of
Yeah.
what you plan on like through your business
Arrested
expenses.
again for selling libations on a Sunday.
Libations on a Sunday.
In 1896, he received national attention for the arrest of a known prostitute named Ruby Young. The girl wasn't the real story. Instead, it was her companion, Stephen Crane, author of the best-selling Civil War novel, The Red Badge of Courage.
Oh yeah, that one's so good. The audiobook's amazing.
It's no Stephen King's It.
That audiobook is mostly just sounds like, but
Which
it's
one?
still it.
Oh yeah, it was scary.
Yeah.
You've never seen it, have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, because I was like, I think you're missing the point. You're thinking of
The Blob?
What's the other one? Where
It is about a clown
the
that
thing.
fucking fucks up little kids.
Yeah,
huh?
you're thinking about a clown that's a figment of an imagination, but it comes to life and it
personally, I prefer
kills
Killer
all the
Clowns
kids.
from Outer Space, which I have on DVD and VHS.
This is way
But
scarier
do you
than that.
have it on audiobook?
No, that would be so fun to listen to.
All right.
Do you have it tattooed
Podcast
across your
over.
back?
Crane was known for embedding himself deep in his subject matter, sometimes quite
that what he
literally
called
in the
it?
case of his writings on prostitution.
Because he would get laid with them. Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, they probably became business friends, right?
He wrote. He
Knock
also
on the
wrote.
door, they'd be like, oh, we're going to pay up. Charlie's here. Girls, Charlie's here. Let's pay up.
He was kind of like an 1890s Hunter S. Thompson in a way. Like everything he wrote on, he just went and embedded and did.
Yeah.
So like he wrote a big expose in some New York paper about opium dens.
Yeah.
And he went and hung out in opium dens and smoked opium.
I think it's called
for his thing.
immersive journalism.
Yeah.
Is when you actually experience it. Vice is really into that.
That's what
nowadays.
Crane was all about.
You go and you do. And you say, I was that for a year.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Here's what happened to me.
I'm actually writing an article on John Shefsky, and I'm just going to go be you for a year. It's very strange.
Well, then you would, right now, if you were being me, you'd be like, go on with your story.
Yeah. At Ruby's trial, Crane stepped forward to defend her against the charges, his popularity carrying so much weight that the judge threw out the case.
Nice.
Crane told the press he would back her up if she wanted to have Charlie prosecuted for perjury. 3 weeks later, they were back in court. This time, Charlie was on trial for harassment.
But the cop was on trial? Mm-hmm. Oh.
Fucking
Because
time,
after
dude.
this whole thing, he kind of like was harassing both Crane and Ruby.
Yeah.
And they were like, fine, then we're taking you back to court and press some charges on you, motherfucker.
And it worked?
But his lawyer, one of the best in the city, ran a perfect smear job on Ruby and Stephen Crane.
So that's the answer to that question I just had?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
By the end of the trial, both of their reputations were ruined, and Charlie was acquitted. Ruby was effectively banished from Satan's Circus, and Crane left town.
Where do you go after Satan's Circus, though? Like, if you're like, I got to move on to what?
Well, it's just one neighborhood in Manhattan. That was just the Tenderloin.
Wait, it wasn't a business called Satan Circus?
Satan's
That
Circus
that was
was
like
the
a
nickname
zone.
for the Tenderloin.
Then
Kind
she
of
went
like-
to Satan Circus. Bye-bye. Welcome to Hell's Kitchen. We take all of you.
Oh, yeah, that's in New York, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then is there another place? The Hudson River, which is
Dude,
Latin for
no,
devil's
there's the
water.
fire living room. There's
I got a new job
the
on
really
Buttfuck
hot
Alley.
The really hot basement.
Fuck Alley. That's not like a place you. It's like a video game you'd like to play.
I was
in
trying to
virtual
do
reality.
a theme with hot and maybe a room and a house, and he's like, alley butt fuck. Doesn't
Yeah,
really
and-
fit the theme, but butt fuck
We're
alley's
going,
pretty,
yeah. It's like a
pretty crazy.
It's like a
down there.
marketing meeting, and you're
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck? What? You're going with his idea? We're going with Buttfuck Alley."
We were starting with things connected to hell, and then
Fine.
we were doing
Now
maybe
we're going
a
to
room and a house.
Volcano Village.
the melting balcony,
Fuck, dude.
the flaming room, and
Now we're going to double butt fuck Gomorrah Alley.
That's
dude.
right. It doesn't make sense, but butt fuck is fun to say.
Billy Five Hammers Bonnell on Double Butt Fuck Alley.
Gamora, baby.
However, Charlie did make the occasional mistake while walking the beat. On a few occasions, he caused some trouble by accidentally arresting respectable women. He also had a fondness for...
I think that got blown over. Like that's his testimony, but like years later, we can go back and be like, this guy was probably trying to get laid by being like, "You're under arrest and you're not getting out of this until we bone."
Oh no! Please don't arrest me, big hammer.
I won't if you give me what you've been selling on the streets.
But no, I'm respectable.
Well, I don't see it that way, and who are they going to believe, m'lady?
That's a good point.
Put out, lady. So this guy was a fucking sleaze bag. Let's go get him, gentlemen.
He also had a fondness
Let's get our time machine and beat this guy's ass.
Plutonium. We need other stuff that's radioactive.
Thank you, Billy. I do need some fucking ingredients to get the time machine finished.
Or just a hot tub.
But we got a lot of the main ingredient. Time. Am I right? Okay, go on with
He
your story.
also had a fondness for using his nightstick. At 26 inches long by 1 3/4 inches wide, police nightsticks packed a powerful punch. More than
I
once.
thought you meant sexually. I thought you were getting into some dirty sex stuff.
No, he just used to like to hit people with it.
He was jamming it in people's asses on the street. We took him to court, but he got out of it because he had a good lawyer.
Yeah, he just
I don't
again.
know what accent that was.
That's good, though.
I was trying.
It was fair. It was a convincing character.
Yeah, when you saw him walking down Buttfuck Alley with that nightstick, you're like, shit, I should have gone down.
I can't take
blowjob
any
lane.
Gamora of this. And then you turn and run, but that's exactly the position he'd need you in. He ran fast. He had big calves, 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. Could have been a linebacker, I think they called him.
Said he was a dirty cop.
He was a dirty cop.
More than once
With
he
a
was
dirty
charged
cock.
with excessive force, but he was never punished. Instead, he caught the attention of famous police captain Alexander Clubber Williams.
How do you get a nickname like that?
He liked raves, man.
Yeah, he went to clubs a lot. That guy does not wait in lines. I'll tell you that much. He's very well known. He went to
Who
raves.
earned his rank and nickname from his almost daily fistfights while on patrol.
Oh.
While the friendship could have been a big career boost if it had come 10 years earlier, instead, Charlie was forced to watch as a wave of anti-corruption reforms pushed his mentor out of the service. To be fair, Clubber had somehow amassed great wealth on a meager officer's salary. He had a house in Manhattan, a 17-room mansion in Connecticut, and a small steam yacht.
Oh, so this is totally suspicious. How would you get all that stuff being a cop?
He came for money, dude.
No, dude, on the side, I promote clubs. That's what I do. I'm a dance promoter. I can get you in if you just, I'll hook you up.
Me and my partner, Charlie, head of the line privileges, Becker.
Line privilege. While the reform movement didn't fully clean up the corruption, it did push it further into the shadows. Charlie, his ambitions growing, cleaned up his act. He married and had a child. He joined the local chapter of the Freemasons. By 1900, there hadn't been a complaint against him in years.
And that's the end of the story.
Yeah, that's done.
Good.
This has been fun, guys.
It's good. Let's get out of here. I know your trick. I'm looking at that stack of
But
papers.
Charlie's career took a turn when he was assigned to the precinct run by Max Schmidtberger.
Schmidtberger?
Mm-hmm.
He got his nickname because
Shitburger? Hey, Shitburger! It's Schmidtberger, sir.
It's Schmidtberger. It's Schmidtberger, please. It's not shit.
Tell us more about Shitburger over here.
Schmidtberger had given testimony during the waves of reform, testimony that had resulted, amongst other things, in the firing of Clubber Williams.
Ooh.
Since then,
He's a real piece of
When they
Schmidt.
kicked out old Clubber, Schmidtberger went.
Yeah, you'll be
he went
eating a
insane.
Schmidtberger behind bars.
Since then, he had been the poster boy for the reform movement, as well as the #1 target for disgruntled cops. But Schmidtberger was no Boy Scout. He was simply an expert at giving the appearance of good behavior while taking in money on the sly.
Oh, so he was just like everyone else.
No,
Yeah,
so he was anti-corruption, but he was still
The biggest
doing
corrupt- yeah.
That's like when those preachers are anti-gay and then they're sucking black dick in a hotel room.
Oh yeah, that's
So, it's
to
just
be that homophobic. You got to be pretty much like
Yeah,
a
I think
psycho
anyone
dude
that's whatever
closet gay.
extreme you are, if you're super one way or the other, you're like definitely doing that shit. You know.
Yep. Oh yeah, and this guy. I mean, people that wear those badges and wear those like look at the world we live.
Look
in,
at
dude.
Schmidtberger.
Look at Schmidtberger.
Schmidtberger.
It's about Schmidtberger.
Charlie wasted
Starring Jack
no
Nicholson
time
Burger?
in coming after his new captain, busting out some of his more lucrative sources of income. For the next few years, Charlie and Schmidtberger went back and forth, filing charges against each other and quietly trying to undermine the other's work.
Oh, they just focused all their shit on just like, I'll take you to fucking court, like investigating each other all the time.
Yep. Just back and forth, filing affidavits against each other, like trying to bust each other's rings up and shit. It was pretty bad.
They try to bust each other's nuts.
Yeah. And their rings. I meant like the butthole ring. Yeah.
The cock rings.
This whole thing, undertone, sodomy.
Yeah.
Every episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Boners.
Hey, if you really, it's about crime subtext,
Yeah.
butt fucking.
Well,
Yeah.
because that's what people fuck. So, like, no matter what story you get into, the interesting stuff is like, oh yeah, well, who took a shit while that was going on? Hey, what were they fucking? Like, I mean, it's everywhere. You know, Titanic, right? It hits an iceberg. You know, somebody was fucking when that thing was going down.
I'm gonna give you a Schmidt burger.
Without
Is that
the
a thread or a prumies?
I'm just wondering.
What is a Schmidtburger?
sounds like grass-fed Jew.
Come on
that you
down
made
to
it too.
Schmidtburger. Grass-fed
On
Jew?
list of most awesome, it goes third place sodomy, second place Gomorrah, first place Schmidt burger. Oh, dude, I'm gonna
No one
Schmidt
talks about
burger you
that.
so hard.
It's in the lost stories of the Bible, Schmidtburger.
Yeah,
God really, he was fierce the way he reacted to
that's the last.
Schmidtburger.
That's the last page that's missing from
It's
Revelations.
stuck.
Yeah, the world was all on fire and stuff, but everyone was just getting Schmidt burgered
Oh, dude.
by the Lord.
But we learned so many of our morals from that story.
By 1906, Charlie won out and Schmidtburger was run out of town. Over the next few years, corruption quietly rose back up, nearly to its 1890s levels.
Oh, Jesus. That was awful. The levels in the 1890s.
If
right,
Charlie,
guys?
the worst. I mean, I've been trying
The
to get back
corruption
there for so
levels
long.
were almost as high as the levels of amount of people that had nicknames.
Oh, dude.
Nicknames are so high.
We have a lot. We have a lot of
1890, bro.
nicknames coming down the
Everyone's got
pipes.
good nicknames.
Dude, we got no nicknames now. We all need good nicknames.
We're getting-
But you can't. Can you reuse Schmidtburger? Because
Yeah.
I want to be
He's been
Billy
dead for a while.
Schmidtburger. Okay.
Man,
Billy
you,
Schmidtburger Bonnell.
you guys don't even care if these people died. And, like, I'm here over to her telling you can use his
I'm more
his name.
fascinated with the amount of nicknames.
I liked Five Hammers. I thought that was a good Billy Bonnell nickname.
I like that, but it's just not accurate because I got small hands and a small dick. You
Fair
know.
enough.
Wait, what's this podcast about?
But that's what we meant. You needed so many
Rich's
hammers.
mom.
The hammers is the thrust, not the size of the actual instrument.
Billy Five Nails Bonnell.
Yeah,
There we go.
I like that.
I like it.
All right, where's Charlie at in the story? Charlie
Over
and
the-
Shitburger. The two
If
fucking
Charlie benefited
fucks.
much from the corruption at the time, it didn't show. He and his third wife lived in a modest apartment on 165th Street in Washington Heights.
Wait, he got through 3 wives already? Charlie or the
yeah, I didn't
Shitburger?
hit the Charlie. No,
Okay.
Schmidtburger's out. He's
Okay.
gone. He's run out of town.
He's just gone.
Wait,
Char-
they ran Schmidtburger out already?
yeah, he's gone.
From
He's
all
a
the affidavits and
Charlie
stuff?
beat his ass in that game, son.
So now Charlie's a captain.
Not a captain. Just this guy is gone now. The guy he hated and that a lot of people hated is
See,
now
he's
gone.
almost a captain. Maybe.
Not quite.
Fuck.
You're obsessed
look
with
at
this
me.
ranking, and I just want to know how who's fucking, right, guys?
Yeah.
All right, go on.
In 1911, everything changed when the new police commissioner appointed Lieutenant Charley Becker. That's what's up. As the commander of the new vice squad.
That was a good question, Billy. So you want to know his ranking? Now he's a lieutenant.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Do you think that's right? Do you think that's good?
He used to be a security guard. I think it's pretty good.
Okay, from a career
He went from
supporting
guard card
Yeah.
to lieutenant
Yeah.
commitment.
guard card to fucking bribe stride.
And commander of a new vice squad.
Oh.
That's the
Oh
big
shit,
thing.
he's lieutenant and he's a commander.
So he's able to really just do whatever he wants now. He's in
Charlie's
charge.
team immediately began to use billy clubs and blackjacks to break up some of the more notorious criminal outfits, like the Car Barn Gang, the Gophers, and the Negro Toughs of San Juan Hill.
Okay, I want that on a jacket. I want that on a jacket.
Yeah,
Like a 1950s jacket? Oh,
Sure.
Oh, this is actually pre-1950s.
this is 1911.
So like on a pea coat or something like that, like just stitched on the back?
Yeah, that looks good.
What's the name of the group again? The Negroes of...
The Negro Toughs of San Juan Hill.
Do you think black people would let me wear that and be like, he's on our side? He's
As long
just-
as it's historically accurate.
yeah,
man.
right? I'd be like, this is vintage. I'm keeping their memory alive. Or would they be like, you can't wear that?
Dude, the gang names are so cool back then, and everyone had a nickname. We're living in a shitty time.
so lame.
That's why we're not happy. Depression exists because there's no more
No, the
cool
the
gang
gangs
names.
still have-
MS-13? No, thank
I was going to say,
you.
was that an acronym and then some numbers?
The
What is this, a
Dead
fucking
Rabbits,
code?
remember? And gangs in New York, they all had awesome... The Worcestershires.
Oh, yeah. Worcestershire sauces or whatever? Yeah.
They still have like gangster nicknames now, but they're all like 7 dwarves names, like Sleepy and Grumpy
Oh,
and
those
Snowy.
are awesome names. Don't tell me
Not
when you see
creative at
when you
all.
see
No.
a giant cholo called Tiny, like that's fucking awesome.
makes me laugh,
Chato and Tiny and Smiley.
Within weeks, Charlie's squad was famous across the city.
Is that the name of his gang? Charlie Squad?
It's actually called the Special Squad.
Sounds like it'd be a charity for a child that's dying of a disease. Charlie's Squad.
I get that.
Charlie's Squad. We're having a barbecue. The fire department's gonna.
That's like a knockoff of Charlie's Angels.
yeah.
Or other way around.
yeah.
Charlie's Angels is a knockoff of what these motherfuckers are doing.
Demons.
They didn't want to pay the money to say Charlie Squad, and they're like, what else is there? It's his
Let's see.
angels. Let's make them hot chicks.
What if they were talking about Charlie's quad? Like his leg, he has a muscle down there that was just
Pretty
like,
thick.
It's
I mean,
Charlie's
he was
quad.
a thick-legged fella.
He
was.
said squad specifically. You can't just take a letter off a word
Charlie's
and
squad.
do what you want.
Charlie's quad.
An article and photo spread appeared in the paper with a collection of awkward nicknames for his team.
Oh, they did. The papers. Even in those times, the people were like, "This name's fucking goofy as
Yeah,
shit."
we'll put that on the Instagram because the spread is hilarious. I looked at it earlier. Some of the nicknames: Strong Arm Man.
Super interesting. Hey, you look strong in the arms. Strong arm man.
What shall we call
That's like
you?
a long name too. Nicknames are supposed to be like, "Hey, Pip, grab me a beer." Not like strong arm man with tall eyebrows and nice posture.
Old Sleuth.
Old sleuth.
That's a
another
little
one.
bit better. We went down to 2 words.
Yeah.
What's a old sleuth? Like a sloth?
No, like a
Old
sleuth is like a
sleuth,
gumshoe, detective,
Oh, like
a private dick.
Billy, don't look at me like I'm supposed to have a vocabulary.
I'm
just a guy.
pretending I know what sleuth means to just be above you.
Because I totally thought you were fucking critiquing me not knowing what sleuth means. So it means a detective, a sleuth.
And Boots.
Yeah, there we
Boots
go.
is a great fucking
Classic
name.
one.
We went
Boots.
5-2-1. Boots is
Boots is great, dude.
One member, a Jew named Nathan Whitman,
What a
went by
Jew.
the Yiddish Irishman
Shalom, I'm the Yiddish Irishman. Would you like to drink a beer?
due to his weird special skill of disguising himself as an Irish laborer.
I am an Irish laborer. But he looks like
That
Woody
sounded
Allen.
Scottish, honestly. So get the fuck out of here. Man.
Fuck. How would Scott?
I can't do accents. Don't even start it.
Oh, well, you're a pretty good fucking judge of other people that are trying.
He walks in with payas, but like a weird like Irish paperboy hat. Oy vey, these whiskeys are so good. I love it. Does anybody have any potatoes?
All these potatoes, and I love my kids. They have all this red hair, and
Seriously,
the four-leaf
it's the-
clovers are beautiful.
Who wants to dance a jig? We do it in a
Kiss me.
circle, right?
Kiss me, I'm Irish, not on the lips. You seem like you have a cold.
Soon the special squad was given the task of shutting
special
down.
squad. Boys, yep. Just handy. I mean, come on, handicap.
Charlie Squad.
Charlie's squad.
They were given the task of shutting down Manhattan's illegal gambling operations.
Have a late night show.
Over
at
the
Comedy
next
Store.
year, Charlie led over 200 raids, making 898 arrests.
And how much money? How much money did
The
Charlie
papers
make?
kept up. We'll get there.
Okay.
The papers kept up with every arrest, partially because it was a big story, and partially because Charlie hired his own press agent, who fed stories to the reporters.
So is Charlie becoming kind of like in the public eye, kind of like
Yes.
who's like a famous cop in our public like eye right now?
Mark Furman.
I don't know, Mark, but just
that-
Steven
that-
Seagal.
You don't know who Mark
no.
Furman is?
No, which guy is Mark Furman?
The racist from the LAPD during the OJ trial, remember?
Oh fuck, that was the one who turned out to be like a KKK dude. That
Yeah.
it made him like have to throw away evidence. Like,
Yeah.
I would mention some of the other ones that are famous cops, but they also might end up being stories on this show.
yeah, so you don't wanna,
I want to tip
okay.
the hat.
Okay,
Let's just
Don't
say
tip any- don't tip
that's
anything.
that's some foresight, but don't ever spoil a good riff from John Shefsky.
yeah.
that's a good point.
Thank you for looking
Wasn't
out
it a
for me,
good one?
Billy. You just
Wasn't it a
you,
good one?
you stepped right on the fucking
Nearly
riff.
every day came an article in which Charlie Becker took on criminals with axes, sledgehammers, or simply his fists.
Simply his fists.
Wait,
Dun,
I thought his
dun.
fists were sledgehammers.
I mean, they were sledgehammer-like-esque.
But he also was beating the shit out of people with sledgehammers.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like a
Jesus.
quadruple sledgehammering.
Yeah. But Charlie was not immune to temptation.
Oh, I thought you were going to say viruses. He got a cold or something.
Becoming the head of Vice and Satan's Circus also provided opportunity to make a lot more money by bringing back those bribes. Charlie immediately began exploiting his new position to rake in the dough. By the summer of 1912, he built up one of the largest extortion rackets in Manhattan history. The ability to conduct raids as he saw fit gave him unprecedented power. On one side, he could use them as a tool to target those who refused to pay up. On the other side, he could delay raids and tip off the targets who were playing by
He was
his rules.
just fully just manipulating the game from the top. Like the house is just in control of the whole thing.
Yep.
And he's just profiting this whole time.
He's running a protection racket, basically.
What's he doing with all this money? Is he doing the same thing that his other his boss friend did? Just buying mansions and shit?
We'll get to the money.
Is there going to be a video game about this guy? Like a Grand Theft Auto? Like a secret level or whatever? And you get to be Charlie?
Grand Theft Horse, list carriage?
They had cars, dude. Come on.
I know.
They had
Rich,
some. That's why it's finished with horseless carriage.
Have a little respect for the old days, Rich. They knew how to party.
Next year in this story, they invent the airplane, so hopefully he bought one of those. Because you can do a lot of fun stuff
That's right.
in airplanes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, brothers. You can do fun stuff in airplanes, even if it's still on the ground. They still look cool.
Some of the best sodomy of my life is in an airplane while it's on the ground, baby.
Obsessed with butt fucking and blowjobs. Some of the best sodomy. I'll tell you, you haven't come in or on an asshole unless it's been on the wing of a plane. I'm telling you.
While the papers reported the nearly 900 arrests made by the squad, what they failed to report was that the charges were dropped against over 800 of them, when crucial evidence was lost or squad members forgot details.
So it's more like a pain in the ass for Charlie. Be like, fuck, we're on trial. All right, so go throw away the evidence from that thing, and I need you to get rid of your shoes that you were wearing during that case because it has money attached to it.
Yeah, the arrests were mostly just to shake up the people who weren't making their protection payments. And then rather than, because it doesn't make any sense to actually lock up the person who's paying you protection money. So he would go like, oh, they're not paying their protection money? Let's raid those motherfuckers. Hey, you know that you can be in trouble now? Oh, you're going to pay up? Cool. We lost the evidence. How much
crime do you think that was happening in Manhattan at this time because this guy was fucking not paying attention to actually protecting people? And
his job specifically wasn't protecting people. His job was he was the head of Vice. So his job was specifically not to protect anybody. His job was to stop prostitution, gambling, and drinking on Sundays.
Oh, is that what Vice does? They just focus on victimless crimes?
Yeah, that's exactly what
a waste
Vice
of
does.
Taxpayer dollars. Okay,
Yeah.
Jesus, that's annoying.
That's why Miami Vice is the dumbest fucking show of all time.
Because I loved it when I was a kid. How fucking dare you? First of all, there was no Airwolf.
But look at it back.
But still,
look at it back in time. You're like, that whole show was about people fucking up fun in Miami. That's what that whole show was. Like, hey, Miami's too much fun.
I was just a little kid being brainwashed by
let's roll up our jacket sleeves and go ruin it.
How fucking dumb is that? That's so annoying.
Yeah.
There's real shit going on.
Stanhope has a great bit about
Aren't
Vice
you pissed, Billy? You're not even fucking pissed. His poker face is fucking straight on. Nice
His poker face.
Dude, I'm still mad about the corruption in the 1800s, dude.
You're not.
That transitions into the early 1900s, and prohibition's about to start in this story. And what's he gonna do then?
It's the worst.
The money gets better.
In just 9 months, Charlie's team took in
the
around.
Sushi gets better.
In just 9 months, the team took in around $1.8 million for
in
protection
those days?
fees alone. Around $44 million today.
He did get an airplane. For sure, he has an
for
airplane
sure.
in a year.
Airplane. He's got syphilis. He's got mansions. Yeah, this guy's gonna
Syphilis
party.
was expensive back then,
right?
That number doesn't cover the extra cash brought in from turning over individual gamblers and prostitutes.
This guy is one of the richest people in the city. He's not even. I mean, $44 million.
Most of that went to pay off various city officials. Everyone needed a cut.
Okay, so he had a lot of expenses.
Still, Charlie
Pulling
did
back
very
my
well,
excitement,
taking
maybe.
home around $10,000 a month in cold hard cash, nearly $250,000 today.
A month.
A month, yeah.
Okay,
So he is super rich.
that is super rich. However, when you put up a number like 44 million and then you go, oh, he's not keeping nearly.
You couldn't get a studio in
No, he ended
New
up
York for
keeping
that
about
right now.
I say ended up keeping around like $2.5 million of that 44.
So yeah, which is still
Equivalency,
fucking
yeah.
awesome if you can make that in a year.
I mean, still
that's amazing. If you make it
good bribe game.
I mean, the
Like-
crime podcast makes that every month. So
Yeah, I mean,
He's making $1 million
it's not
a
that
quarter,
impressive,
dude.
But
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
That's $4 million, man.
yeah, he definitely had an airplane, like you were saying.
He could
Billy
live in-
Numbers Bonnell on
He
that
could
shit.
live in Williamsburg.
He could.
If that's your goal, then yes, he could live there, young man, and you could too if you just work hard and stay in school. Williamsburg.
The best part about was that the money he stole came from illegal businesses, so it was highly unlikely that anyone would ever report him. He was so confident, he started accepting
He's just
the
like
bribes.
taxing other criminals, basically. So, like,
That's what this whole thing is.
I think that's what they
Are you
actually
just
still.
figuring
That's what
it
they
out?
still do, right?
Are you new?
Did you ask me if I was Jew before you were new? You stopped yourself. Were you gonna say, "Are you Jew?"
No, I know that. You're wearing a high hat.
That's right.
So,
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, doing great.
I'm kind of high myself. Actually.
Yeah, you are.
You got high before this?
I get high before and after this or that.
This or that, and this and that, and
It must be.
You downed a double shot of espresso, so you're fucking higher than I could even try to be right now.
Charlie was so confident, he started accepting bribes in the form of personal checks.
Oh, dude, so there's paper trails, but he's like, I don't give a fuck. Give me
Does
the check.
not give a fuck.
He's like, I'll
Catch me
fix that
if
shit.
you can.
When the occasional anonymous complaint did come in, it was forwarded to his department for investigation. Now, I want to.
So he had people working everywhere.
Oh yeah. I do want to point out, I kind of cut a lot of stuff from the story, but he actually was super popular amongst other cops at the time.
Yeah.
Because like during that Ruby trial or whatever, like he'd gotten a bunch of cops to like march into the courtroom with him and like in a phalanx of officers.
Yeah.
He was one of the first guys who was like, when I go to trial with the entire department.
Motherfucker said phalanx.
And then after that, he in like in the early 1900s, he ran a big campaign to like make the job better for cops. because they were working 17-hour days. They had to pay for this, pay for that.
So he's like a union leader also?
Yeah, like he was a spokesman for like most of the cops in the city for like their issues.
Oh yeah, so he championed like he ran the game, but he also like was the champion of the people kind of guy for the other cops.
Yep.
Do you think he was super popular as a security guard as well?
I mean, he got promoted up to being an officer, so
They loved him at the club, dude.
that's what's up.
That's right. He got rid of his
He made it easier
his
to get your guard card.
Yeah, guard.
But there was a growing problem.
There was?
The graft was getting too big.
What graft?
That's what this is called.
The
This whole
fucking
thing,
racket,
this
bro.
game. It's called
You guys
the graft.
listen, you're throwing a bunch of words at me that I have never heard before. And
Phalanx,
Yeah.
graft, guard card.
That's right. Guard card.
His
Boner.
predecessors had been chiefs and captains, and their protection had been a lot more secure than what he could offer as a lieutenant. It was only a matter of time before people started getting angry. Charley saw the writing on the wall and requested multiple transfers, but he was too good at both sides of the job. The reformers didn't want to lose their new star, and the corrupt officials didn't want to lose their cash cow. Charley was stuck on a ride that was destined to crash.
That's a pretty decent analogy for it.
Thanks,
Or
man.
metaphor.
Enter Herman Rosenthal.
Hyman Rosenthal.
And his nickname is
Hermie Rose.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if he had a nickname. I didn't see a nickname
H-Dog?
for him.
Old Hermie, dude.
Hermie. Old Hermie? That's actually a cool name, dude. Old Hermie.
Herman came to America from Germany at 5 years old, growing up in the tenements on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. As a teenager, he joined a small outfit, making a little money running errands and getting in the occasional fight. In 1897, Herman married Dora Gilbert, a woman with similarly pliable morals. For years, their primary income came from her work in the world's oldest profession,
She was a prostitute.
the prostitute wife and the
Religion.
husband pimp. Like, he actually used to go to theaters and be like, hey, do you guys want to get laid? You can come fuck my wife for money.
Okay,
Shut the fuck up.
Do you know like the modern era of like being raised as a Jewish kid? Like it's always like, ooh, that's wrong, or like don't mess with that guy, that's dirty, or that's bad. But then you hear about this stuff and you're like, who are these fucking mobby kind of like pimp dudes with the last name like Robina Witzenstein? Yeah, like there was like tough guys that were like, I'm a Jew, and they like rolled up their sleeves and got in boxing fights. You always think of like Woody Allen, don't you? Like, isn't that like part of our culture? Like the little Goldberg
Oh,
guy.
when I think of Jewish guys, I think of like weak people like you, yeah. I do.
You fucking dick. You're so eloquent with your words. Such a charming way of articulating your thoughts and agreeing with me. I'm not weak. I'm just sensitive.
Even more extreme, New York
fucking
prostitutes had a reputation, if not a quietly accepted civic duty, to do the things that good men should not inflict upon their sweet wives. While most
Describe this.
You should not let people fuck your wife for money.
No. What I'm saying is that not only was this guy letting people fuck his wife for money, but prostitutes in New York were notorious for being like,
Kinky
you
as
come
fuck.
here to do the things that you won't do to your wife because she's too pure.
You ever see Billy Crystal like in that one movie that was Analyze This? I remember like Robert De Niro goes like, I can't get a blowjob from my wife. Like she kisses my kids with that mouth. You remember thinking like, what? Like there are dudes that like, I wouldn't do, I have missionary nice sex with my wife, but I fuck, Esmeralda in her ass.
Yeah.
You know?
Sodomy, baby. Knuckles.
Sodomy, baby. A lot of daps in this fucking episode. Sodomy.
Reaching the top. While most girls in the country stuck to doing it the American way,
Whoa, I like
New York girls would do it the French way,
Oh.
or even the sinful Italian way.
What the fuck is the sinful Italian way?
In the butt.
Woo!
Yeah.
I thought the French way was in the butt.
We didn't even prepare this. I can't high five enough people right
I thought
now.
the French way was in the butt. That was
No, excuse me. French way is
Is
in
the
a
mouth?
hairy armpit.
Are you serious?
You fuck them right in the hairy armpit.
Yeah.
What a trip. I've never fucked a woman's armpit. I feel like a virgin.
I mean, gotta go to France, bro.
You guys have fucked girls' armpits?
Dude,
Everyone, who
only when
hasn't?
I'm in an airplane that's on the tarmac, not in the sky. Never in the sky.
Never. It's dangerous. What if you had turbulence?
You guys have really fucked chicks' armpits.
Who hasn't? What are you...
Is this-
really?
you're
I know that a lot of dudes
You're
haven't-
basically a virgin.
I know a lot of dudes haven't fucked armpits, but if I'm sitting in a room with two dudes that have, like the average would change for me. I would be very.
That's the French way.
Yeah.
I thought the French was anal sex.
No, that's the sinful Italian way.
Hey, you want to go to fucking Paris or Sicily? Man, that's just hot. You guys care if I get a boner? Okay.
It
I
may come
would
as
be-
no surprise that after a few years
I
of
may
working
come
together,
as no surprise.
after a few years of working together, Dora divorced her husband and left to open her own boarding house.
Oh, Dora got divorced from her husband?
Yeah, she was like-
Oh,
she was
Dora
like-
the Hora Explorer.
yeah. Well, she went to open up her own brothel. She was like, "Fuck this!
I don't
I'm
need
not-"
you. You're the middleman.
Exactly.
This ass pays for itself.
So Herman entered the gambling business in 1900, bankrolled by the Irish gangster Big Tim Sullivan. Big
Tiny
Tim,
motherfucker.
That's the irony there. He's 3'7", Big Tim Sullivan. I think Big Tim Sullivan actually might be big.
Big Tim had a soft spot for what he called smart Jew boys,
Well, then he would have liked me, right, fellas?
as they tended to have the
No?
necessary education to manage money.
Well, maybe not me. I'm pretty broke.
By 1907, Herman had built a small empire of pool halls, racetracks, and gambling houses. He quickly amassed a modest fortune of around $200,000, $5 million today,
Dope.
which he spent lavishly on food, clothes, and hotel rooms.
What a dork.
But the gravy train began to derail in 1909 when the state assembly banned betting on horse races. A lot of his customers followed the races out of town, taking profits away.
That was a metaphor. There wasn't an actual gravy train.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was like
Bill,
some
you were
tragedy
sitting here
in this
trying
story.
to understand the actual
Gravy
gravy train. Rich is reading a serious story, and Billy's like, "Now, if this train of gravy, how much gravy? How many gallons did it have? Did it destroy a
much
town
gravy
like
do
a
they
water
need in
tower?
New
You
York?
couldn't make it
collapsing?
in your own house. They made it in a factory and they fucking.
Oh yeah, you don't have a vat big
Bro,
enough.
Where did
That's
they
what I'm
import
saying.
it from? Was that like New England gravy? Or
off the rails on a gravy train.
a lot of the customers followed the races out of town, taking profits away from Herman's other gambling businesses as well. At the same time, an influx of reform-minded politicians on one side and competition from new immigrant gangs on the other further put the squeeze on his profits.
What do you mean?
So on one side you have politicians.
I can't think fast. He's like reading that. I'm like, wait, who's doing what to why?
So on one side you have politicians trying to put put the kibosh on
Yeah.
gambling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On the other side, you have new gangs popping up
Yeah.
from new immigrants
Yeah.
that are competition for all
So
that sort
everything,
of stuff.
like the market, the bubble's bursting on this buddy.
Especially for this dude, yeah, who's bad at this.
Okay.
Herman's not that good at it.
Herman's not. Herman's kind of a fuck up. Herman's like a get rich quick fuck up. That's
So he is the nebbishy Jew dude that I was talking about. He's just into like criminal activities.
Dude,
Yeah.
Herman is not a Jewish guy.
Yeah,
definitely
he
is
is
a Jewish guy.
Yeah, is he?
That's been
That's
the
why he
whole
said
point.
That's why he said the guy
Smart Jew boys.
That's why Big Tim
I thought
was
he
like,
liked smart Jew boys, and I
Big
thought
Tim, the guy who
Big Tim likes
bankrolled
smart
him. Yeah.
Jew boys.
Yeah.
So Hermes the smart Jew boy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's okay. We get lost all the time. That's part of the show is the adventure of wandering off while the group moves
Dude.
along, and then you go, "Where are you, Billy? There's bears out there. Come back. Stay on the trail."
What was the cost of the gravy train derailment in today's dollars?
If you get anything from this episode, take the philosophy angle that Billy was taking. How would a gravy train even function?
So our two timelines are getting closer together now because we last left off with Charley Becker around like the 1909, 1910-ish.
Okay.
And now we're getting close to that with
I can only hope that Charley Becker's storyline intersects with Hermie Boy's storyline, and
Yeah.
then they butt fuck at that intersection.
Can I just point out you said Hermie Boys, and I was like, that just makes me think of
No.
hermaphrodite. Like
Billy, you've heard. Listen, it's an alley, not an intersection.
Oh, I hope they butt fuck Alley.
Yeah.
all right, go on with the
That's
story
the new. I hope they meet.
in Buttfuck Alley.
No,
Yeah.
We will meet again.
That's
in
what you're
Buttfuck
talking about.
Alley.
Do you want to meet in the alley? Is the new? It's a new way, so you don't want to butt fuck.
Kirstie Alley hates that saying though.
Well, I mean, she doubles. Do you want an alley in the alley? And you're like, oh wow.
you want to meet in Kirstie Alley?
Yeah, if she had a meeting room,
That is
attached to her
disrespectful
body.
to women, and someone's gonna
Just
stand
joke-
up for
just for joking about Kirstie Alley.
just because her last name's Alley, and we've been talking about butt fucks.
Buttfuck Alley.
Alley.
And people used to call her that, but not because they would have sex with her, but that she was just kind
This
of.
is the smartest, stupidest show that exists in podcasts.
But isn't that humanity? Smart and stupid.
Yeah.
We can't like.
Brodelectual, bruh.
We got to talk
That's why
about.
my comedy works, dude. Because I'm dumb as fuck, and I sound dumb as fuck. Wait, is that the? No. Yeah.
My next question is: does your comedy works for you, or do you work for your comedy? Because I have an offer I'd like to make for you.
A series of raids by Vice Squads took the last of Herman's cash, and by 1911, he was poorer than when he started. He got one last loan of
and
$5,000.
now I don't even have my whore wife.
She's out fucking without me. He got one last loan of $5,000 from Big Tim.
Which is how much today?
A lot.
I know how much it is.
100,000.
Yeah, how much is it?
Dude.
150,000.
5,000. It's a lot, dude. I have
Okay.
no idea.
Yeah, it's like 38 billion.
That's not you assholes.
It's
people
Microsoft.
want to know this. I'm speaking up for the listeners.
Harry got one last loan of $5,000 from Big Tim and made his way to Satan's Circus, where he opened a lavish 3-story gambling club. It was a massive
success.
failure.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He had forgotten
he should
one.
have started with 2 stories. Why'd you go for 3, man?
When the 4th story was his apartment, like where he lived above it all.
Oh, very clever. What an immigrant way to do
Hey,
business.
he lived above it all, but did he?
No, he was down in the muck.
He was actually,
He had forgotten one very important detail in budgeting his new club.
What was that detail, Rich?
He hadn't set aside any money for bribes.
That's part of the business plan. I thought you were smart.
When the cops
No, Herman's not smart.
When the cops came demanding $1,000 a week to operate, he refused. So on November 19th, a different vice squad broke down his doors and smashed everything. His club was done after just 4 days.
Jesus.
But then Herman
days.
met our guy, Charley Becker.
Oh, our guy. That's our man.
After a night of drinking, they became fast friends and made a deal. Charley would supply the cash to get Herman started again in exchange for 20% of the earnings.
Oh,
The head of Vice was now an actual investor in illegal gambling. But Herman had enemies. Someone sent anonymous letters to City Hall ratting out his establishment. The pressure on Becker was so great that he knew he had to raid the club for appearances. He told Herman that they would stage it by temporarily replacing the expensive new equipment with old secondhand gear. The cops would come in.
Oh, so they could smash it up?
Trash-
like,
smash
don't worry,
the
we'll
machines.
smash up a bunch of shit, but it won't be the stuff they're using.
Yep.
It's a brilliant plan,
Just
actually.
put on a show for City Hall and
Yeah.
take the heat off the guys for a while.
How much do you... oh, yeah. That's
Smart, really smart.
That's a genius.
But Herman objected. His money was too tight to close the doors even for just a few days.
Oh, you fucking idiot. Are you not... Herman? Are you not, like, listening to your inner voice?
Herman Merman.
You have to do this.
Yeah, no, he's a...
In hindsight, it's easy.
Herman's inner voice is saying, fuck, I'm not going to do that.
it's hot.
In April,
I'm boiling in here like a frog in a bucket, or whatever they
It's
do.
super hot in Buttfuck Alley, man.
Right? I would imagine it'd be humid.
That was my
humid
Jewish-
as well.
even hotter in Kirstie Alley.
Excellent.
Very humid. Very
On April
humid.
17th, 1912, Charley called Herman and told him to go meet someone at a bar across town. When Herman arrived, he
Sounds like
found
a
an
diss
empty
in the
table.
old day. Hey, go meet someone at a bar across town.
Well, he gave him a name. I just don't know. The name wasn't in the thing.
Okay.
When Herman arrived, he found an empty table. He turned around and returned to the club to find the doors smashed in and the Vice Squad mid-raid. Charley left a message for Herman, promising to cover all the damages. But he couldn't undo the damage to their relationship. Not only had Herman lost his income, but his teenage nephew with no police record had been picked up in the raid. When Charley failed to get the kid's indictment thrown out, the partnership went from fractured to broken.
So that really bummed him out about the nephew.
Well,
So
Herman-
there's
first-
some morals here in Herman. So like I feel like I want to get to know who this Herman character is because we labeled him like this schmucky
Well, he
dude
is a-
with
he
his
is a
wife's
schmuck.
a whore and he's doing all this
Yeah,
awful
but
Schmucks
shit.
are
even
sometime-
idiots like their fucking nephews, man.
yeah.
That is a very
Have you ever been to
important
New
point
Jersey?
Even idiots.
idiots
That's like
love
the
their
wisdom I'm going to take away from today. If you think of nothing else, even idiots like
love their
nephews. Like, oh, okay, I guess so. I'm just seeing some redeeming quality in him that he even cares enough that it would ruin a friendship.
Well, he was
with something
also
where-
pissed off because he totally objected to the whole idea of staging the fake raid. So it was like, you fucked my money
also
and my nephew.
But at the same time, though, you're like, dude, like he's the police commissioner, he's the inside dude. Like you just do what he fucking says. He's also your business partner that has all the inside information. Like if he says jump, you go fucking jump. If he says move to the left, move to the left. Like you gotta trust this motherfucker, right?
know-
am I the only one who sees
No, Herman is the type of guy that would just go jump and not ask how high.
this? You don't know. Yeah. Now you're his lawyer on the next episode of Lawyers, where we defend people from the past who
With
fuck
no
up
money
really
and no prospects, Herman did the only thing he could think of.
jacked off.
He went to the papers.
Wouldn't you guys?
Oh no!
Oh my god, he's gonna go turn him in.
On
What a
July
fucking
13th
idiot.
and 14th, New York World,
I hope
the
I'm not related
premier
to Herman.
newspaper of the day, ran 2 sworn affidavits from Herman Rosenthal.
Which means what? Sworn affidavits means legally
Statements.
notarized statements.
Yeah.
They're officiated.
The first charged that an unnamed police lieutenant, sworn to fight illegal gambling, had in fact been his business partner. The second named names,
What, does Herman want to fucking die?
pointing the finger at 3 officers, including Charles Becker.
So he's just depressed. He's like, I don't care if they kill me. I just want to tell them.
He apparently had a reputation for wanting revenge whenever someone kind of slightly wronged him.
Oh, okay, so
and
he's
so
a
there were some
paranoid
side stories I didn't get into about
Yeah.
like him having someone beat up unnecessarily, or
Oh,
him
yeah.
like telling on like he was like Big Tim Sullivan was a
Tim.
he was a major player at the time. He was one of the big Irish bosses at the time in New York.
Yeah.
and he liked Charley, or he liked Herman, so he like gave him a lot of protection.
Yeah.
if it hadn't been for him, he probably would have been fucked
Killed
up
earlier.
years
Because
before all
right
this.
now he seems like he's being like petty. Like you can't just fucking get revenge. Just have peace. It's okay. These people fucked you over, but like move on, brother. You know what I mean?
It's exactly what it is.
Fucking Herman.
Billy's pissed. I'm
The
pissed.
article not only made Herman the enemy of nearly the entire police force, but also his cohorts in the criminal underworld. Speaking to the press was strictly forbidden.
I bet Billy Bob Thornton could play Herman really well in a movie.
Furthermore, people worried about this exposure that could bring new wave of crackdowns on their income streams.
You think a guy from the South can play a tiny Jew guy from the past?
Billy Bob Thornton's a great actor. That's my whole point of this episode. Is I had one.
Billy Bob Thornton, he just keeps the Texas accent because it's just him.
He plays everyone. He's like, the story of Charley and Herman, starring Billy Bob Thornton. Hi, I'm a Jew. And Billy Bob Thornton. Hey, I'm a cop.
He plays multiple roles. Yeah.
And Billy Bob Thornton. Hi, I'm a hooker.
As Adam Sandler in. All right.
Billy Madison.
The article. Oh yeah,
Billy Bob Madison.
On the 15th, Herman went to the Hotel Metropole.
Metropolis.
Metrople. I can say Metropolitan. It's just a Metropole. Metropole.
That's a
Metropolitan?
typo, bro.
Yeah.
No. It's in
hotel never
every
existed.
book. That's the name of the book. That's the name of the hotel. I just don't know how to.
The
Metropole.
Hotel M.
Metropole, dude.
Yeah, the Metropole.
Hotel.
That is that's actually Herman's nickname.
Metropole, maybe.
Old Metropole.
Oh, Metropole.
Maybe they
Herman
maybe they pronounce the
Metropole.
E.
He's actually Greek. He's not Jewish. He's Greek. Metropolis.
It's like Chipotle.
Chipotle. Metropole.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that. He went to the Hotel Metropole on West 43rd, where he spent the night drinking and smoking expensive cigars. Around 1:30 a.m., he stood up and declared, "I guess the morning papers must be up."
And then he got shot in the head for being a fucking rat.
He went to the hotel entrance and bought 7 copies of New York World.
7?
Which I don't know why.
I'll give one to my nephew.
Yeah, he's like so proud. He's
One
like,
to my niece.
I need to have all of them.
He made like a robot suit out of it with all the front pages. He walked around in a suit made out of newspapers, man.
Which featured the accusation of Becker on the front page.
Ooh. With a picture?
I don't know if there's pictures or not. He went back into the cafe and drunkenly waved the paper in the air, calling out, "What about that for a headline?"
And everyone was like, "Shut up, you fucking asshole."
Actually, that's exactly what happened. There's a bunch of reports from this night where people were like, "You're a fuck." Like, he'd be like, "What do you guys think of this?" And someone like, "You're an idiot." Like that happened multiple times in the course
just
of
walk
the
up to
night.
him like, "Dude, sit the fuck down. Get out of the way."
Yeah.
I'm going to the jukebox. You fucking idiot.
It's like you read the book.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I didn't, but that's
At
blown
5
away.
minutes to 2, someone told Herman he had a visitor out front. Herman stumbled into the city lights, papers in one hand, cigar in the other.
Maybe someone wants an autograph.
As he stood waiting, 4 men got out of a car, walked up, and opened fire.
Fuck, old school style.
The shots came from
he was trying to build a bulletproof vest with all those papers, man.
Yeah, you get it.
Bullets are really soft.
That's what I was
back
gonna say
then.
earlier. Do you think that he was really doing that, or are you just riffing right now? Because earlier I was like, you should build like a vest out of that. Enough paper, you could.
I'm
buy
riffing, dude.
No,
You told
that's-
me to riff in a text message.
Fuck.
Never tell him, never break on him. He will believe anything you tell him if you stick to it.
Not
I know. We've done a couple of those already. I felt like I'd give him one, you know?
That's fair.
Thank you.
The shots came from so close that the
you.
muzzle flashes left burns on his skin. The men jumped into a getaway car and sped off. As Herman's dead body bled onto a street,
So he died.
yes,
Okay.
he got shot like the last shot as he was falling forward, like went in the top of his head.
Oh wow.
Part of his mouth got blown off. It's a lot of stuff.
I got to see this in microfiche.
He got fucked up. I searched for pictures of it. I didn't search that hard, but I didn't find any pictures. Usually there's
It's got
photos.
to be a microfiche of the front page of that paper, right?
Oh sure.
Microfiche.
As Herman's dead
what's a
body bled onto the
microfiche?
street.
It's me butt fucking someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Billy Butt fucking folks. Give it up.
As Herman's dead body bled on the street, one of the gamblers from inside the cafe calmly walked outside and stepped over the body. With his hands in his pockets, he bent down to examine the carnage. "Hello, Herman," he said, smiling. Then he stood up straight and said, "Goodbye, Herman," before walking away.
Was that fucking Charlie?
I don't know.
Like just down there in a trench?
And
That
if
wasn't
you're not
Charlie.
supposed to talk to the press, who the fuck told him that?
That's a good point.
It's a great quote.
No one
Normally,
got
I'm not supposed to do this, but I got to tell you what happened. I got to tell you what this gambler said.
No one got a good look at the killers, but a number of people caught the license plate. 41313NY.
I'm glad you read that right now so that our listeners can look out for that one.
Is that a police car license plate?
Nope. They traced the car to a chauffeur who regularly loaned his car to gangsters when he wasn't working. From there, they found the man who rented the car, Bald Jack Rose. Bald is his nickname. It's not his real. His name is Jack Rose, but Bald.
Yeah, Bald. Yeah, it's old Bald Jackie.
Yep, there you go, Bald Jack.
Full head of hair, baby.
This
Full
was-
head of hair.
It's got to be ironic, or it ain't a nickname.
This was huge because Bald Jack was well known as a longtime illicit employee of Charley Becker.
Ooh, so just like within like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, you're like, it's like 3 steps away. You're like, this guy works for Charlie. But of course.
The next day,
course.
the New York World led with a story claiming that Herman had been, quote, murdered in cold blood by the system. The partnership between the police of New York City and the criminals of New York City. That night, the district attorney told the press, quote, I accuse the police department of New York, through certain members of it, with having murdered Herman Rosenthal.
So you think that like this is actually so Charlie went a little far by killing him, even though it's like he quieted him down. It brought the
Well, interesting.
magnifying glass on
we're
it
going to
more.
get some detail. Some more details are coming in.
okay.
Charley Becker brought the heat on himself.
The
What's his
story,
name?
Yeah, it's
Charley Becker,
Becker.
bet it like Becker.
Becker.
or just the sitcom Becker.
Becker.
Upper Becker, man.
Oh, that's when you take a poop
On
in
Charley Becker's
Charlie
head.
Becker's head. That's right. Sodomy.
The story gripped sodomy pound.
Sodomy pound.
Yeah.
Your
I'll
listeners
take a pound
can't
of
see it.
sodomy and
We're doing a lot
half
of
pound
fist
of
pounds
macaroni
in
salad.
here.
The story gripped the entire city. Thousands of curious onlookers crashed Herman's funeral, blocking traffic from Fifth Avenue to Broadway. Papers ran stories and cartoons depicting every angle of the brazen murder.
So it became like romanticized by the public of like, oh, dude, this is like we gotta go
Well,
see this
because
fucking
also
body.
it was the idea that police were involved that was so crazy.
Yeah,
to
it's like
people.
corruption. It's the Untouchables before the Untouchables,
This is a thin blue line, baby.
right? It's a thick blue line.
And Charley Becker was probably like, fuck, I got to sell my boat.
Pretty much.
That's all.
Things got worse for Charlie when investigators began to discover his money, the house in the Bronx, his secret bank accounts, and a paper trail of checks from known gambling proprietors.
Jesus.
It's all tumbling down there, Charlie.
Charlie was stripped of his command and reassigned to a desk.
Oh, he got to keep a job.
For now.
Oh,
Arrest. I still have some more pages, dude. Don't you worry.
So, sorry.
Arrests started to come in, but only for small bit players. They brought in the chauffeur who rented out the car, and the driver who thought he was on a protection run, and Bald Jack Rose, who had served as lookout. The DA offered them a deal. They could face trial for the murder or flip on Charley Becker. The next day, Bald Jack took the stand in front of the grand jury. He detailed how Charlie had ordered him to get the word out to take care of Herman. He also named the shooters.
Jeez. So he's ready to fucking possibly die himself. That's
Jacob Whitey Lewis Seidenschner, Lefty Louis Rosenberg, Dago Frank Cirofisi,
hey, he's the Italian one. How you doing?
and Harry Horowitz, a.k.a. Jip the Blood.
Jip the blood, baby.
What the fuck?
Run the jewels, jip the blood.
Yeah.
Harry Horowitz. A lot of Jews.
I mean, this whole story directly connects to the big era of Jewish mafia.
Yeah.
In particular, Arnold Rothstein. Arnold Rothstein was that name? Who was one of the biggest early Jewish mafia leaders in.
Wow.
Who we might actually end up doing a story about him at some point.
Ooh, spoiler.
not a nice Jewish boy.
Charley Becker was arrested that night.
Shit moves fast in 1800s England. 1900s fucking Manhattan.
England, baby.
I mean, both, really.
But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to make a point.
News of his arrest and wealth spread across the country. His wife, Helen, received hundreds of letters offering to help in exchange for sums ranging from $200 to $10,000. One offer to help help free Charlie requested payment in the form of an artificial leg.
Like, I'll help out if you send me an artificial leg.
Yes. That's a letter she received from a human
And
being.
she's just like, oh, I'll put that over here with these ones.
Yeah. No one
How does
could
anyone
help.
pay you with something like that? They're like, why don't you just give me $700? I'll buy the leg. You don't have to worry about shopping for an artificial leg. I gotta do the fitting and all that
He
stuff.
doesn't want an extra step. Just bring me the leg, bitch.
That is a fucking pain in the ass, mean thing to ask.
I will
a
get your
fucking
husband out of
person to pay
prison
you
for
with.
some hair extensions
Yeah.
and 3 spoons.
That's easier though than an artificial leg.
I mean,
Let's be
yeah.
honest with ourselves here. But I do like that someone had the balls to ask for that.
But no one could help Charley Becker. That fall, he was tried and convicted of first-degree murder. The verdict was overturned on the grounds that the presiding judge had been biased against the defendant, but the retrial ended with the same result. After 3 years of appeals and maneuvers, the verdict was set. Charley Becker was guilty in the eyes of the law. He and the 4 gunmen were all sentenced to death by execution.
Woo!
On July 30th, 1915.
It's almost working out too perfectly.
It's weird that executions back then is someone butt fucking you to death, though.
Death by boo-foo? Oh, God damn.
In an alley.
Oh, dude. I heard
Kirstie Alley, baby.
instead of the gavel, it's just a dick, and they just bounce it on your asshole. Guilty! And then they put it in until you die.
On
and
July
the boner is complete.
30th, 19...
That's your idea of a sexy hot time? Just being punished by butt fucking? Ow! Slaton.
That's, I mean, I don't know what kind of punishment that is.
Ow, Slaton.
Everybody likes butt play. It's 2017.
Ow, Rich Slaton, stop hitting me in the butt with a dick gavel.
We all don't mind a pinky.
Just stay
during
out
a
of my
beach.
alley, and then you'll be fine. You know, this alley was named for me.
Which alley are you talking about? You talking about the actual thing you're
It's
saying?
Rich Alley, and it's adjacent to Kirstie Alley, and then just right
Next
across the
over,
way from Buttfuck Alley.
I like how you guys said it in sync, like we do on this show. Crime! Oh,
Three-way.
Yeah. Three-way.
On July 30th, 1915, the warden at Sing Sing prison escorted a defiant Charley Becker to the electric chair.
Whoa! After all he had fucking done, he had been to the top of the police thing, and now he's going to the fucking chair.
Yep.
That would never happen nowadays.
Nope.
You can get away with murder nowadays. It's like, no,
Yep.
you really can just run the system. But at that time, there were times when they were like, you would fucking French Revolution that
We'll
shit.
get into some of why that is in just a minute.
Okay.
Despite the circumstance, Charley maintained his innocence, claiming that he just wanted Herman Rosenthal run out of town, not killed. But it was too late. Charley was taken to the chamber, where he would be the first man executed using a new kind of electric chair. Charley would be the 116th person to be executed by the chair
Something
at
to be
Sing
excited
Sing.
about, right? Like, hey, at least, no one. It's like when you get on a.
I was thinking about butt fucking again, man. It's
were
a brand new type of electric chair where they shock you and you get butt fucked.
Yeah. It's an electric boner. Don't get us wrong. You will be electrocuted, but it's through butt fucking. That's how it contacts your body.
Instead of the halo thing they use to shock through your head,
Yeah.
and they use the other ground. It's a steel rod that goes up your butt, and they
Hey,
shock you
Warden,
from
they
one
just-
last butt fuck for the Lord.
Hey, Warden, I know I'm about to die, not a big deal. But why are you leading me out of the prison and down this alley? That seems like a strange... Shouldn't you execute me back in the prison?
Because where we execute people is butt fuck alley.
Crime.
If this was an improv show, someone would have ran across us right now and been like, and scene.
Yeah.
Charley would be the 116th person executed by the chair at Sing Sing. The first, an axe murderer, had been overcharged so much that flames burst from his spine and purple foam from his mouth.
Are you fucking joking? That's
No.
fucking disgusting. That's like in Green Mile when you're like, God, remember they're describing stuff like it's not
They
supposed
left
to
the
happen.
sponge dry, dude.
Oh, dude.
The new system was meant to prevent those kind of accidents.
Flames bursting from his spine. I don't think I'm gonna be able to fucking sleep tonight. That's fucking terrifying and so sad. And you guys don't care
But
because
no,
they already died.
But they created a new system for
And
this
that's what-
for this electrocution to prevent those kind of
You
accidents.
almost said election.
That's the kind of
terrible.
shit that happens in Satan's circus, dude.
That's right. Welcome.
Hell's Kitchen.
If you want to get butt fucked to death until you're gonna fucking get fucked so hard your spine's gonna go.
I don't know what you're
flames.
tripping about. There's a new chair that's designed to prevent these accidents. It did not work.
Charley Becker got the bad one.
When the hatchet man threw the switch, a greenish blue flash shot out from the equipment. The strap across Charlie's chest flew open, and flames burst from his forehead.
No way.
After 60 seconds of current, they took it off, only to find that Charley
still
Becker was
alive?
still alive.
No, it's so cruel and gross.
It took 9 minutes and 3 more jolts to put him down.
Oh my god.
As observers watched in horror, as
Didn't someone?
flames,
They're cops. Couldn't someone just pull out a gun and be like, "All right, Charlie, I'll take care of this," and just put a gun up to his head? Dude,
flames and smoke rose from his head and feet. The execution will be described for years as the clumsiest execution in the history of Sing Sing prison.
Oh, Charlie.
And that's where the Metallica song came from, Ride the Lightning.
Is it really from that fucking?
Yeah.
No, Ride the Lightning is from this.
They wrote it about Charley Becker.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I you kind of jumped the gun on my footnote, but, yeah, good story.
He said,
my
I didn't know the
God.
story. I was just riffing, man.
That's fucking.
Not
I've
true
been
at
listening-
all.
I've been listening
Not
to that
even a
song
little
since-
bit true.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
Not even remotely.
You
Not
fucking
even-
asshole.
I
Oh my god! I was just telling my mom the other night how I was like, "No, mom, I'm just like you on crime. I always get conned into stuff, and you fucking don't stop."
I just want to commend Billy for sticking with that one. That was great. Proud of you, bro.
That's what happened to you, dude?
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard to erase that because now I can't stop thinking about the song "Ride the Lightning," and I
We should.
It opens with him saying,
We should
Charley
s-
Becker.
Charlie
that's why I was like, I've been listening to that song for like 20 years. Like I was like, "There's no, I don't never heard Charlie in there."
He took the graft, hit the prostitutes, took all that money from gambling. We need to stop.
It's the last time you will.
Charley Becker.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop like revealing that things aren't true, just so you start telling facts to people that aren't true at all.
You're like an internet meme that I believed. You asshole.
Yeah, I'm gonna start the onioning you, but you don't know I'm the onion.
You're that meme. You like believe that meme where it's like you can charge your cell phone by putting it in the microwave.
Yeah, like I'm the guy. It's like it's not
What's
working.
on my iPhone?
Charley's conviction and execution would prove controversial for years. Many researchers then and now believed that Charley had not been directly involved in the murder, that he had simply declined to intervene. Some claimed the DA, Charles Whitman, was merely looking for a scapegoat to help push his career. Indeed,
So people are still years later sticking up for me like Charley was a good guy.
well, there's a big debate as to whether or not he actually did, because there's a big debate whether actually he did order this murder,
Yeah.
or whether he was like, get this guy the fuck out of town, and a murder happened, and he just kind of like didn't get in the way of it. Because a lot of people say that. So let me talk about Charles Whitman, the DA. Indeed, Charles Whitman was elected as the governor of New York State in 1915. So I mean, a lot of people are thinking that this whole thing
This
was
was a strategic situation for him.
to help this guy get the governorship, essentially.
Yeah.
So there's a debate there. Obviously, Charley Becker did some sketchy shit.
Yeah.
The question whether or not like he actually said kill this guy is up for debate.
Is that still something that people can go get the chair for or get a death penalty for? Is by ordering a killing, even if they're not the killer themselves? It is.
Oh yeah, you like there's if you if you drive the car for a murder and you didn't pull the trigger, you're still convicted of murder. You're not convicted of
Depending on what state it is.
That's a good point.
State in Maine, man, Garden State.
Charles' wife Helen even ordered a
Stater
plaque
Brothers.
for the coffin, which read Charles Becker,
name.
murdered July 30th, 1915 by Governor Whitman.
Ooh.
Wow.
And then the governor found out about it and like pressed libel charges and they had to remove the plaque.
Oh, that's
but
funny.
there was a whole thing. And that's the story of Charley Becker.
The flame part is just
It's still fucking you up.
it's fucking me up.
9.5 minutes, dude. I
Yeah.
don't even fuck in the butt for 9.5 minutes.
Yeah, you do. The question is, how many times do you come in 9.5
Yeah,
minutes?
buttfuck Alley would have only taken 6 to kill him. And then this chair, 9.5, that's just...
Death by Boo-Foo.
That joke comes up on this show way too often.
It's never come up before.
Yes, it definitely has.
Butt fucking?
We've tried to tell it on this show before. There's a whole thing on
What?
there's an episode where we try to tell it, like 3 of, like, I can't remember who the other comic
What
is.
joke?
The death by Oonga Boonga, death by Boo-Foo. It's an old street joke where it's like some guys get... I'm going to fuck that joke again. I fucked it up on the last
Hurry
time
up
we
and
did
tell it, though.
A bunch of guys go into a jungle. They get captured by some
Like a native tribe.
and the tribe goes, "You can either have death,
or Boo-Foo."
Boo-Foo."
And-
And the first guy's like, "I'll take Boo-Foo," and the whole tribe goes and fucks him in the butt. The second guy's like, "Dude, I'll take Boo-Foo too. I don't want to die." And they all go fucking in the butt. And the third guy's like, "Dude, that looks terrible. I want death." And they go, "Cool, death by Boo-Foo."
Yeah.
I had no clue that joke. I thought I invented that
Well, when
joke
you were
today.
riffing about like them sodomizing you to death, I was like, "Death by Boo-Foo." Like,
Yeah,
dude.
that joke has been told with a different word in every city in America.
In grade school, I just remember it just being just because of the wit of it. It's such a cute little like anecdote.
I know who
I've
invented that
always
joke.
been writing and telling my own original jokes. I don't know about these fucking street jokes you talk about.
Oh, okay. Well,
How dare
Knock,
you?
knock.
An American
Who's
classic.
there?
Fuck you, man.
oh man, knock
In
knock.
the butt.
I shouldn't have knocked
Knock knock.
or
Who's
answered.
there? My friend who's a pretentious writer. He doesn't appreciate our fucking collective
I love
jokes.
Boo-Foo, dude. I just wish I...
I love Alley's more.
Well, now you're going really hard the other direction. I don't know if you should love Boo-Foo.
No, I love the joke about Boo-Foo.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like actual like capital punishment through anal raping.
Today's sources
That's exactly what I'm
include
saying.
Satan's Circus, Murder, Vice, and Police Corruption, and New York Trials of the Century by Mike Dash. And, of course, The Evil Robots at Wikipedia. Yeah, that's what we got today. I need to go to an alley. But before, you can follow the show on social
Instagram!
medias at CrimePod,
At
CrimePod. You can also email us, crimepodcast@gmail.com. Send us story ideas, questions, dick pics, whatever you're into.
Those are dick pics.
Send label them for
Please.
Shefsky.
Label them to Billy.
yeah, oh.
Billy's our dick pic resident.
It better be going into
our
a
resident.
butt.
Yeah. If you have
Just anal pictures. Send them to Billy Bonnell.
anal pictures for Billy Bonnell. Billy, where can people find you on the interwebs?
I'm at Billy Bonnell on pretty much everything. So
Double N, double L.
Yeah. Actually, there's 3 L's if you do the whole thing.
A lot of L's.
Billy Bonnell, Instagram.
Well, there's 4
Billy
L's
Bonnell, Facebook.
Yeah.
Billy Bonnell, Twitter, Spork Aficionado, Snapchat.
Sport
Billy
aficionado.
Bonnell.
That's a good shift.
Adult friend finder. Billy B.
No, Alley Buttfucker, dude.
Alley
you know.
Buttfucker. That's right. Death by Bufu.
Yeah.
Bye, robot.
Bye, robot.
Let's go to Carney's.
Let's go grub down.